tell y'all something, okay? There's a difference between wanting to compromise, wanting to come together, and just straight up cooning. Just straight up cooning. It's crazy how there's so much division within the black community, but y'all want to Cupid shuffle and cha-cha slide with the enemy. That's wild. So you fighting with us, you fighting with your own people, but you want to kumbaya with the motherfucker shooting us dead. Welcome back to Chopped and Rooks. It's your girl Young Rooks. It's your girl Ruka. As you can tell, again, we are not going back to the original content that I put out because I still got a lot of shit to say. I do. This past week has felt like 3,525,000. It felt long than a bitch. It felt longer than the line between my titties. It was long. With protests, with new news coming out, with new footage of police senselessly being violent against peaceful protesters, we see that a lot of shit has transpired. Yes, because of the protests, they have passed such things as Breonna's Law, where they can't go in and do this no-knock warrant shit without justifiable cause. We did get the 4 officers involved in George Floyd's shooting arrested. However, they have not been convicted. They just arrested, and we know how that go. Breonna Taylor, she would have been 27 last Friday. In Dallas, they did shut the streets down in honor of her birthday, and I do really appreciate that. However, as we have come to the end of the week, it seems as though the black community has lost momentum, and it really does make me sad. There have been, initially when it began, as we saw the footage with the Target footage of looting and rioting in Minneapolis, we saw that we had something strong going. And everybody was more so talking about the looting and rioting rather than the protest and why we were protesting. As footage has been revealed, it shows that the protests seem to have been peaceful and the police are inciting that violence. We have seen raw, uncut footage of people getting hit with rubber bullets, brain bleeds. A pregnant woman was hit with a rubber bullet in the stomach and lost her child. So a lot of things we've seen protests where the protesters have their hands up and their knees down, and they're still being arrested, they're still being tear gassed, and they're still being disrespected by the police. It is wild to me that the very thing that we're protesting for is the very thing that we see in real life, in reality, uncut. The very reason, the knee on his neck for 8 minutes and 46 seconds. You see footage of officers with their knee on their neck for unsolicited, since unnecessary reasons. Oh, you passed curfew. Let me put my knee on your neck. Let me hit you with a rubber bullet. Let me slam you to the ground and arrest you for 13, 14 hours like you an animal, like you cattle, all because you want to protest a black life. And as everybody has said time and time again, at this point, you're not convincing or teaching anybody. Because if they don't get it, they purposely don't want to get it. So we have our movement, which is a human rights movement, and we are still being treated less than. We have people comparing, well, all lives matter, including animals. What the fuck are you talking about, lady? Yes, animal lives matter, great. Go vegan, whoop whoop. But we're talking, it's just that people want to invalidate or make the movement smaller than what it is. It is huge. It is not some trend. It is not an aesthetic for you to go out and Photoshop a Black Lives Matter poster in your hand, Jenna. It is not something that you go out, take a picture, act like you're doing something just to go back home and post it. It is not a trend. It is not something kitschy or cute. This is a movement. And the movement's transpired because there is senseless killings amongst the black community. And I think a lot of people are forgetting that. Why in the fuck am I going on Twitter and I'm seeing you Cupid shuffle with some motherfuckers? You down, do your dance with the oppressor? That is ridiculous. That is very, very foolish. Because as soon as the cameras cut off, they will not hesitate to tear gas and shoot you dead in your face. And that is why it's so foolish. Because you are literally shuffling with someone who will not hesitate to kill you. And yes, there seems to be a disconnect between reality and social media. You know, at the end of the day, you're going to have to put your phone down. You're going to have to put your tablet down. You're going to have to put your laptop down. And you're going to have to go the fuck outside. And it's different out there. It's the same, but it's different. So you wanting it to be over, you wanting things to resume or go back to normal is very fucking dumb. Just because this conversation is uncomfortable for you, just because you don't like the negative content, just because it's overwhelming, does not mean that the problem is gone. You want to be able to post and laugh and cackle, and that's great. I want to do that too. But the problem is not, it's far from solved. It's far from over. So just because you're uncomfortable, just because, take a mental break. Post whatever you want to. You don't even have to be your birthday. Post whatever you want to. You feel fine, you feel lovely, great. Post it. But the conversation is not over. Just because you are overwhelmed, just because you want it to end and you want to go out and not be judged, please, first of all, COVID-19 is still outside. It's still outside, ready. It's still in your heels. COVID is still real out here. But the problem is more important than COVID to me. Because COVID is something that you can recognize, right? COVID is COVID. It's a virus. We're in a pandemic. But we don't have the privilege of seeing a police officer and not having our heart skip a beat. We don't know what's going to happen as soon as we see that person. We don't know what's going to happen outside when we get into an altercation with somebody. You know, people see videos and be like, that can't be me. Why don't y'all put hands on people? Because the same people that we want to put hands on, they'll be quick to charges. And so something that was a simple assault at most is now second-degree murder because we are black.
Stop recording. Y'all need to put your hands on these people.
As soon as we put these hands on the people and exact that temporary justice, we are in jail for 8 to 10 because we are black. We don't have that same privilege. We don't.
Oh, they called me a nigga.
Oh, well, you didn't have to put your hands on them. You going to jail. It's different for us. We have to record it so people can see somehow, some way, enough to make a change. We don't want no fucking street name changes. I don't give a fuck about no damn Black Lives Matter way. What does that do? What does that have to do with y'all? Is Breonna gonna come back and walk on Black Lives Matter way? Is Ahmaud going to jog on Black Lives Matter way? No. No, don't lose sight because they're trying to do things to settle us down. Oh, give them a street. What? Fuck you in that street. Fuck you in that street. There's so much division in this community, and it really saddens me. It makes me so sad because it seems as though materials are bigger than our lives, both in and out of our community. Trina was on a radio show. Don't fucking know the radio show. Don't give a fuck because I'll never listen to it. And she was talking about how her friend's business, don't give a fuck about the friend's business, was ransacked. So in the clip, of course I'll show y'all, she was listening to respond. You could tell the ignorance was on 10 with her. And later on, she called us animals. She said, you need to get these animals off the street. I've been quarantined too, but these animals are looting and riding. All for what? All for a black man that's dead? Yes. All for a black man that's dead. and she touched on her brother who was murdered by another black man.
They need to make the curfew at 6 p.m. to 6 a.m. That's how I feel.
No.
Keep everybody off the streets, these animals off the streets that are running around in Miami-Dade County acting like they have escaped from a zoo. Lock them up at 5 p.m. so the streets can be nice and clean. That's how I feel.
What the streets got to do with the people's lives? You got money.
We're not talking about the lives. We're not talking about
money.
that. We're not talking about the lives.
Listen,
We're not talking about that.
You got money.
Yeah.
These people got to go to work. These people been on lockdown.
I've been on lockdown too.
Okay. You've been on lockdown.
I've been on lockdown just like them.
Yeah, these people ain't been working.
Okay.
They about to lose
Unfortunately,
their
a lot
mind.
of people don't have jobs. I agree with that.
They about to lose their mind.
We all about to lose our mind.
And just because one person.
They run. So today their minds are all back. Everybody's minds is back today. Good.
I pray for her and I pray for her brother, but I guarantee you, her brother's murderer did not murder that man because he was black. He did not murder that man because he felt as though he was less than because of the color of his skin. Again and again and again, people tend to bring up black on black crime when there's so many other races and so many other nationalities, and none of them have a coined term. You don't hear white on white crime. You don't hear Latino on Latina crime. You don't hear Asian on Asian crime. You don't hear Indian on Indian crime. Why is it just black on black crime? And why is it us that's perpetrating that very term? And the baddest basset hound, word to Kaya.
You don't want no smoke, you baggy-eyed, ran through yuck mouth, disease-infested, penniless whore. I'm going to roast you until I get tired, and then I'm going to roast you some goddamn more. Now, I see why Remy shot that bitch in her gut, except me, I'm going to shoot you in your pussy. Because it's time to put that mangy alley cat out of his misery once and for all. I feel you have ruined enough lives. Just keep it real, hoe bitch. You don't want to fight. What you need is a psychiatrist thinking that anybody is beneath you. Girl, all the pussy you done sold, bitch. How can anybody be beneath you? I don't know who you influenced, but Bobby Boucher wanting to be a man horse selling his budussy to the lowest bidder on Fans Only. That's the only person that you've ever influenced in your life, but you think everybody is beneath you. Now you're trying to sell skin tea, girl, high when your skin is fucked up and ashy, full of blemishes and lesions. Bitch, you might as well file for unemployment in that AARP, bitch, because ain't no more money, hoe. I order the baddest basset hound to go straight to the cage. We putting you on suicide watch. You can lay your head on them hits that you claim you got.
Things that can be replaced should not hold more weight than the life of a black man, because that black man could be somebody that you know. It is somebody that you know. When you kill one, you kill somebody of our family, of our community. Then you got Drew Barrymore, or whatever his name is, Doobies, or R2Bs. What's that nigga name? I don't know, because, you know, Ruka don't do sports. I don't know if he played... I think he played football. His dumbass. And you know what? I've seen a sign that says racism is so embedded in America that when we protest against it, people think we're protesting against the country. The guy asked Drew Barrymore or Desi Wine, what's his name? Anyways, they asked him, what do you feel about the ongoing thing, protests and civil unrest against police brutality? This nigga started talking about the goddamn flag.
Looking back now at Kaepernick's protests from a few years ago, and obviously they were always about police brutality, and now it's coming back to the fore, and a lot of people expect that we will see players kneeling again, even when the NFL season starts. I'm curious how you think the NFL will and should respond to that, and of course, you're such a leader in the league. What is your responsibility as a leader in times like this for the rest of your teammates and players in the league?
Well, I will never agree with anybody disrespecting the flag of the United States of America or our country. Let me just tell you what I see or what I feel when the national anthem is played and when I look at the flag of the United States. I envision my two grandfathers who fought for this country during World War II, one in the Army and one in the Marine Corps, both risking their lives to protect our country and to try to make our country and this world a better place. So every time I stand with my hand over my heart, looking at that flag and singing the national anthem, that's what I think about. And in many cases, it brings me to tears thinking about all that has been sacrificed, not just those in the military, but for that matter, those throughout the civil rights movements of the 60s, and everyone and all that has been endured by so many people up until this point. And is everything right with our country right now? No, it's not. We still have a long way to go. But I think what you do by standing there and showing respect to the flag with your hand over your heart is it shows unity. It shows that we are all in this together.
First of all, fuck you and your wrinkly old nutsack of a grandfather. We don't give a fuck about your grandfather. May he rest in peace. We don't give a fuck about that flag. And nobody was even talking about that flag. Why is it when he posed a question about police brutality, you talked about a damn flag? And the thing about people with a big flat platform, with a big following, with a lot of money, when you say stupid shit, it hits harder. And you knew exactly what you were saying when you said it. There's no reason for you to be online on a national or a syndicated platform and you not know what the fuck you're saying. But now that you've got the backlash and it didn't go according to the way you wanted it to go, you want to apologize. I want you to take that apology, go in the mirror, go in the bathroom, go in the mirror, take that apology, turn around, spread your cheeks wide, spread them as wide as you possibly can. Make sure that your balloon knot is stretched. I want you to see the inside of your rectum. Then I want you to take that apology and I want you to thrust it deep within your anus. I want you to thrust it while still having one hand spreading the cheek. I want you to thrust that apology deep within your ass. Okay? I want you to close your cheeks. I want you to jump up and down. Make sure it's in there real good. Then I want you to jump off a cliff. Shut the fuck up. There is no reason that you don't know what the fuck you're saying and you want to double back with an apology. I'm tired of the narrative. I'm tired of people acting like they don't know what the fuck they saying. Y'all know what y'all saying, but y'all not expecting the responses that y'all get. You knew what you're saying. You're not sorry for anything that you said. It wasn't misconstrued. It wasn't edited. We saw it in real time. So what is you talking about? Another thing that I wanted to talk about is Black lives. I want to talk about how Black women feel like they're being erased from the movement. That Black men who have passed have take the front line and the women take the back burner. And it's not only Black women, but the LGBTQIA plus community. Two, as we know, or as I spoke, Breonna Taylor did pass away, as well as a trans man named Tony McDade. And his story is a little hazy. There's not a lot of details. He was a suspect in a shooting or a stabbing, I'm not sure. And they said there was a Facebook Live video of him basically going in and saying, I'm gonna find whoever did this to me. And the next thing you know, he is dead. He's shot down by cops. And they feel as though he's being erased from the movement. And Black lives do include Black trans lives. And I wanna make sure people know that that's 100% true. No life is above another. No life is above another. Just because the front line, you see George Floyd's name more, does not mean Breonna Taylor's and Tony's names are being erased. Doesn't mean Ahmaud Arbery's name is being erased. Doesn't mean we forgot about Sandra Bland. Doesn't mean we forgot about Rakia Boyd. Doesn't mean we forgot about Ayanna Stanley Jones. It does not mean that we forgot or they're less than. We are fighting the same fight. I don't want it to be separated.
I don't see y'all talking about Breonna Taylor enough. I don't see y'all talking about Tony McDade enough. I only see y'all talking about...
I feel as though it matters. It matters. But we're fighting the same fight. We want Breonna Taylor's murderers convicted. We want Tony's murderers convicted. We do. But if we go around trying to segregate, I feel as though this, that, it creates a disturbance that takes away from the bigger picture. And I don't like that. There was another, actually an assault and a death in Nigeria of a 22-year-old girl who went to church to go and study. And she was raped and killed in that church. That story stemmed a huge conversation on Twitter where women and men alike spoke about their sexual assault. There were threads with just ages. I was this age. I was this age. There was no like elaboration of it, but everybody knew what it meant. And that conversation sparked something that added on to the pandemic, that added on to the civil unrest and the racism and the police brutality and the state-sanctioned violence in this country. And it's overwhelming. Everywhere you turn, everywhere you look, the very thing that you used to escape is now what you're trying to escape from. And I think that these hard conversations need to be had more often than not. It is shown that this particular community, our Black community, we like to sweep uncomfortable conversations underneath the rug. Just because we're talking about sexual assault does not take away from our protesting of Black lives. It does not. One does not negate another. You don't have to just talk about one subject. You could talk about all subjects and they can all be relevant on the same level. There was a statistic that I saw on Twitter that stated, or a tweet that I saw that said, the statistic I heard most staggering today was that the police have killed 7,666 people in the past 6 years, and there have only been 25 convictions. 74 cases went to the court with no conviction. 98.7% of police deaths get absolutely no punishment. That is unfucking believable. That means 1 in 300 police deaths are end in conviction. And if that doesn't show you that there's a problem, nothing will. We're plagued by people who want a backstory, or what did he do to deserve it, or we don't know all the details. That's a slave mindset. You don't need to know all the details to know that this force is unnecessary. It's dumb. It's dumb as hell. It's dumb as hell. It's dumb. It's as dumb as you looking for somebody who likes black dick to say something. Why would you care what somebody who likes black dick says when all they put in their mouth is black dick? And thank goodness for that. Let's be honest, okay? Let's be honest. Some of these women of different colors, they're really taking a load off of me. I will say, because that no gag reflex is really tempting, and it's a selling point for a lot of black men. And I love that for them, because that way they can go that way and they won't expect too much from me. Okay? I'm here to talk about black lives. If you want your black dick sucked, go to Barbara and Shirley. Go to both of them. Okay? Don't worry about me. I'm good. Everybody sees violence and says this is not the answer. But none can provide one. None can provide an answer. Yes, we know. We need to go and vote. We know. We know. We need to vote from a county level. We know. Judges, clerks, we know. We know. We need to attend town hall meetings so we can see what's going on in the community. We know. We know. We need to circulate the black dollar to other businesses that accept us in our lives. We know. We know. But what else? What else? Because we've been trying to do that, but we do not have a united front. So what is the answer? It's crazy how everybody knows that violence isn't the answer, but can't give another one. As soon as all the rioting, the protesting came about, everybody wanted to, violence is not the answer, violence is not the answer. But violence is the reason that these protests are even happening. 18 countries in all 50 states have protested, and y'all don't see something wrong? What is the answer? Because protesting seems to be getting more done than whatever the fuck we were doing before. They're still killing us. They're still being violent. They're still being brutal. Tear gas is fucking illegal, and they still throwing them motherfuckers. What is the answer? I want to unify the black community. I don't want people saying, oh, Africans are racist against African Americans. African Americans are racist against Africans. I don't want to hear that. I know black. I know black.
I know black. Negro nunca, nunca. I know no, nunca. I know black.
I don't want to hear that. You are black. Ricardo, you are black. I know black. No, you are. You are. And because of this, it is separating the very thing that we need in order to get our answer. What is the answer when there's so much division in the community caused by us, which is what they want? This is a rare time and a rare opportunity that a good percentage of us are ready to rumble, royal rumble. So what is the answer? When I was posting my last video, I tried to hashtag all the deaths that have been viral or had the media's attention. I almost started crying because there were so many. There were so many. And it's unbelievable that people are willing to be so obtuse and so dense that they can't see that. If all lives matter, why are you not as angry as we are? There was an older man who was protesting for the movement, and he was pushed by cops to where he fell back and his skull opened up. He was bleeding from his ears and the back of his head. Why is his community not rioting for that? Protest against that. There's video footage of exactly what you saw. He was harmless to those policemen. He was 1 against 100. And they still push that man to where his life is changed forever. Why are y'all not as angry as we are about that death? Stop trying to invalidate our movement. I don't know how many times we know that your life matters, but y'all seem to forget that ours matter. Not two, not also, full stop. Black lives matter. It says something about you that I'm saying Black lives matter, and you're saying, but my life matters too. All lives matter. White lives matter too. Are you dense? Are you dumb? Are you stupid? And if what I'm saying causes different companies to become uncomfortable or be controversial about the post that I'm saying, that means I don't need to work for that company. That means I don't need to go to that school. Why are you upset, or why do you feel some type of way that I'm speaking out about my community and the lives that are essentially being taken from their families because of police brutality? Why do you feel some type of way about that? That speaks volumes against you. That has nothing to do with me. I can't go back to posting when my mind is heavy. It's overwhelmed by the pain, by the disrespect, by the foolishness that I see on a daily on these social media platforms. I wish a motherfucker would cha-cha slide with the fucking police when they're the ones that murdered me. I will come back from the dead and I will haunt you until your nutsacks bleed into your phalanges. Don't you fucking dare. Don't you fucking dare. There is power in numbers, and we have that. We have that. We are crowdfunding tremendously. Every story that I've seen, and I've seen the link for the GoFundMe, they have exceeded their initial want or their initial ask price. And it's a beautiful thing. It's a beautiful thing. We are crowdfunding. We are revealing Black businesses. We are sharing those Black businesses. We are creating threads. We are creating opportunities for people to create these businesses or want for these businesses or pay for these businesses. And I love that. And if we keep this up, we don't know. The possibilities are endless. The possibilities are endless. Happy birthday, Breonna Taylor, and may you rest in peace. Tony McDade, may you rest in peace. Ahmaud Arbery, may you rest in peace. George Floyd, may you rest in peace. And may we continue to fight the good fight and find the answer to where our lives will be as equal as the ones that live in this country as well. Thank you for watching. Thank you for always showing me love. Thank you for letting me use my platform. Make sure you like, comment, and subscribe. Comment something, comment, vent. If you need to vent, vent in these comments. If your mind has all these thoughts and all these words, vent in the comments. That's what I want. I want you to vent. I want you to be angry. I want you to be sad. I want you to be happy. Anything that you have on your heart or on your mind, vent. Put it in the comments for me. That's what I want.